These stand-up comedians have made a big name in India now. Okay,
Right.
they're very well known. Many Indians are very very well known. One of them is this Munawar Faruqi.
Okay.
And
Yes.
one day, apparently, he said, I read in the papers, it was reported that he said that he was very hurt that some show of his, some Sanghi people were going to block. And he gave up stand-up comedy, which is, I think, quite tragic for himself and the people who follow him, you know.
Okay.
And it's hard to sell it to me that it's very tragic for India also. But, some people have told me that I'm really like ignorant and don't understand this. I don't actually understand it that much. But in this case, they wanted me to write in support of the people who are harassing him.
Oh.
And they would get somebody to write, in favor of, Munawar Faruqi's and his pain, not being treated badly by the Sangh Parivar. I don't know what he expected the Sangh Parivar will treat him as. I mean, if you don't like them, I don't think they will like you that much. Okay? Now, I can't comment with more authenticity than that because I've never watched a Munawar Faruqi show. Then I told Prajavani that I'm not going to write what they ask me to write.
Okay.
If they ask me to write, I'll write. And they have to print it. Otherwise, they don't have to ask me. Then they said, so, okay, you write whatever you like. Then I said, to give him, the performer, the protection that he deserves, that is his right by the Constitution of India, to give him the protection to do his performance is a fundamental duty of government. And it is the right of people who don't like what he says to protest against him. But the protesters should be given another separate venue where they do not obstruct the performance in any way. They can stand somewhere else and say protest against it. And that protection, for them to protest also should be given. And that is also a fundamental duty of the government, is what I wrote. And I also wrote, there used to be a stand-up comedian in Kannada called Master Hirannaya.
Yes.
And the followers of the present Chief Minister of Karnataka, claiming they're followers of the present Chief Minister of Karnataka. Okay? They went and attacked him, scared him. He spoke at some venue in Mysore and went away. And they went to that venue after that, threw chairs and, and issued threats. And he went to the Chief Minister who was in Mysore at that time, fortunately. And the Chief Minister was gracious enough to arrange an police escort, for Hirannaya, which is actually a blessing and, to me, in my opinion, a warning, as well, And Master Hirannaya may be one of our greatest stand-up comedians in Kannada. His variety of it was, he would do it in a theatre show. He would do great monologues. Greatly popular monologues, okay? Some of it may be dodgy, you may like it, you may not like it, okay? But the thing is, he was very popular.
Right.
And no chief minister in the past had ever attacked him. And after that, Master Hirannaya, till he died, never went on stage again. And I did not see anybody shedding tears for him, I said, in that article. The reason I tell you something like this is, everything is a lot more complicated than we think.
Today.
No, every time it was. But the people in power understood it was very complicated. So they thought a lot before they acted. Now they do knee-jerk reactions. They act very quickly. They talk very quickly. Can make fools of themselves by saying too much too quickly, right? So I realized that I have done all this. What was fortunate for the public was that I was not important and I didn't do much damage. So I want to write because of that.
There are too many chapters here. So I think in your journey, taking the example from Master Hiranya's case that you just mentioned, if I have to give a parallel for today, we just discussed off the camera about Kunal Kamra facing a similar incident, and today the whole the ecosystem has changed, wherein knee-jerk reactions have been taken by power and people representing power. I mean, where is this headed? What do you think is happening?
See, all power is like this, It's the nature of power. So maybe you should have term limits. See, the reason, say, Donald Trump, can act so boldly, crazily if you wish, whatever you like you can say, okay? So that he can do this completely extreme things is because he knows he can never contest for president, to become president ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have term limits, what will happen is you understand you have this chance, this from action to cut is just that one take. So in India, in the US, it's just 2 takes. Okay, you have to finish it by then. So I
2 or
feel
3, sir.
2. No, you can only do 2 terms in the US.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I think Obama also has done only 2, right?
Yeah, you can't do more than 2 terms.
Right.
Actually, they wanted term limits for even the for elected representatives, in both the Senate and Congress and House of Representatives. But they kept it for themselves, but limited it for the president.
Right.
But whatever it was, if Narendra Modi had been given 2 terms only, when he got elected in 2019, in 2014. Okay, he gets elected and he begins to do a series of things. By 2016, he'll begin to worry about 2019, and then he'll begin to sober down and soften some things so he can win again. And when he wins again, okay, if he's going to win again, he's going to moderate himself in some direction so that he can win again, right? So it should have been the other way around. You promised something, you came to power, and you have 5 years to complete what you want to do, and should not be given another chance. Then it would have been different, maybe.
Right.
I'm not blaming him. Given the way things are going now, if there's an election, I'm going to vote for him and campaign for him again. But I feel there should have been term limits. So your question, where is this going, is if you keep electing somebody in power, staying in power can become the most important thing for that person, right? However, I think, the outrage sometimes, if not too many times, for my comfort at least, is fashionable rather than meaningful. Because there was no outrage. There was not that much outrage about what happened to Master Hiranyaya, for instance.
Were the times different? Was social media not there? What's so different
Look,
today?
Mr. Siddaramaiah was the Chief Minister of Karnataka in his previous term very recently. Just 7 years ago, he was Chief Minister. So it's not there was Facebook, there was Google, there was Twitter, there was everything. I'm not. It may hurt when I say this, but the outrage is very selective always, okay? Yeah, it is very selective. See,
True that.
I'll give you an example. The previous Siddaramaiah government banned 2 books in Karnataka, written in Kannada, okay?
That is?
Yogesh Master wrote a book on Ganesha, okay? I've not read the book. I don't know whether it's good or bad, but it was banned, okay? It was banned. There was another person who wrote a book on Valmiki. But when that book was banned, I'll tell you what they said in the assembly. That all the copies of the book should be collected, okay? And those books should be set on fire, along with the person who wrote it.
Damn.
Okay? Today's left is like that. Uncivilized, uncouth, okay? People, that your daughter should not marry. Okay? Those are the people that are in the houses of parliament and houses of the assembly and council in Karnataka. Many of them are like that. Okay? That is what they said. Actually, they should have been in prison when they said that.
Yeah.
Elected representatives, that's what they said. What I'm saying is there was no outrage.
Yes.
There was a huge outrage at that time because there was this lady who wrote a book on Hindus, the Hindus. She wrote a book. Actually, I don't know what that category is. The word itself is not Indian. Hindu is not an Indian word.